Greetings, pirates and privateers. Grim here with episode 3 of our base building tutorial for Empyrean Galactic Survival with Reforged Eden 2. Let's walk you through a little bit of what we've gotten so far here. It was initially just a beginner base. We got 3 turrets up on the top and everything crammed into one little room here. So food prep, place to sleep, storage for ammo, a little bit of production, basic generator, fuel, Wi-Fi, and a shower for the rads, little O2. And then in our last episode, we added on a small garden here, just enough to keep us in some basics, a little bit of pizza. Got a lot of meat from before, so we can, do the hamburgers and all that kind of stuff too. We threw a giant solar panel farm out here, 24 pieces. Good for latent power. It'll build up while you're away, unless it's this particular base, which is suffering from the solar capacitor bug. If we bring up the P menu here, go to devices, and go to the solar capacitor, turn it active, and in a couple of seconds, it turns off. It doesn't matter if the sun's out or not, it just doesn't store anything, but that's okay. We're going to run on Promethium fuel, got lots of it stocked up in the light mining frigate up there. And we're going to continue on with the build. So, in order to get everything a bit more organized, I want to use this front area when the base is complete as basically a kind of a med lab. So that's where once we land the boat, we can jump off, get all healed up, maybe grab a little food, and then head back out. Over here on this side, I am planning on building a vehicle bay, because the next tutorial series that I'm going to do is going to be on building a hover tank, so we can start popping some of the Xerax POIs that are around the countryside here, and get ourselves some good loot. To that end, I'm going to start it with the door. If you manufacture a door, you right-click on it, loads of sizes to choose from. We're going to go with the 6x3. Should be more than adequate for any size hover tank we want to build. And if needs be, we can squeeze our little SV inside there as well. So I've popped the door down here. We'll just open it for now. And one of the things that I wanted to do is I want to see if I can put a recessed floor in here. So I'm going to use, let's go connect up to the right container here. It's on the light mining frigate, and I believe it's that one. Yep. So we'll put the regular concrete back in here and pull out the reinforced concrete and start building our external wall. Now, since this frame is right up against that side, we're going to build our wall starting right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Might as well just plug it right into the back of the base here. Make it a nice square. And now we've got somewhere that we can sort of drill inside of with our handy dandy resource drill here. And see if we can clear out a little bit of floor space here. Try and keep it as even as possible. To start popping in our floor. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're out in the middle here, but I do want to try and keep it from scarring the outside like we did when we put the storage in the last episode. Generally, the drills will keep to sort of a level, but you have to be careful with your aim. And there is a where is it here? Flattening. A flattening mode here, so it should. It's the level of the user's feet. Well, we're gonna have to around a little bit. Once again, once I start getting close to this outside wall, I'm gonna flip back and maybe use the fine drill here. So it doesn't scar it too much on the outside. Let's go and see how that looks here. We're still good so far. Might take some of the plant matter off of the top there, but yeah, that fine drill is really, really fine, and I fear it's going to do a little more than kind of piss me off at this point. Alright, just about done excavating here. I hope that didn't go too far. It looks like it might have. Go. Switch over to fine mode again. Still not going fast enough. That's alright. Now, this evened up over in front. I'd like to have a row of blocks just under the front end here. I want to see if I can give it just enough space to make that possible. Whew, that was a big deep one. Alright, so let's do our connected to base thing here. Aha! Perfect. Alright, we'll put the heavy blocks there. Yeah, see? Still needs just a little bit. There we go. And now, if I switch over to regular concrete, that's something else I'm going to do maybe offline, is go through and replace all the armored concrete blocks that don't need to be armored with regular concrete, because bit of a waste. There we go. Maybe I'll just go through and pop in as many as it'll let me using normal methods here. Why aren't you? Is it that bit? feeling a little hot. Gonna have to jump inside for a second here. There we go, that's much better. See, that's what I didn't want to have happen. Damn. Alright. Well, no use crying over spilled milk. A few little bits and bobs we're going to have to fix here later on, but for now... looks like we're doing not too badly. Alright, and... doink. One there. Still a little bit tough. One there. One there. And our floor is done. Now, let's switch back over to the armored reinforced concrete blocks here. And build up our walls. Nice high ceiling in here. Now, I could go straight across this way, but I think I'm going to bring it up one more level. So we'll get up on the roof here. Hopefully I've got enough for this. One in the corner, and I should be able to work with that from down here. Here we go. And it looks like the span is enough. Oh, that might present a problem. Let's grab you. Get it? Okay. And we'll replace that GAT turret later on. For now, just want to focus on getting this bay put together so that we have a nice little spot for some manufacturing. Okay, let's get you there. You all the way over there, and one more that way. Alright. And there is our armored vehicle bay. Now we can start producing some really fun stuff. So, let's see here. Puppy back in there, and I've got, let's see, frame, that's the one that we're in. Number 1. Furnace. So, in the time between the last video and this one, I constructed a furnace and I popped it just to the side of the base and used it to refine some magmasite, because the hover tank that we're going to end up building in the next series is going to need some of that for the fancy-dancy railguns that it's going to be carrying. So we'll pop the furnace back in there and just real quick take a look at how how we're doing for CPU. So we got 20 grand left. I would like to get a universal constructor in here because that's the one you need for building the big guns. And perhaps a couple smaller ones. I know I'm going to move the smaller one that's inside the main part of the base into that production area. Right now, let's see what we can do. Go to base. And, alright, can't make a furnace, that's fine, but we can make one of you. Alright, universal constructor on the way. And let's chuck a deconstructor in there too. Now, we are low on large optronic bridges if we want to up the CPU anymore, so we have to be really careful right now about making sure that we build under that. So that's gonna cook away for a little bit. Let's go grab that small constructor from in here. There we go, thank you very much. Spot. So I think the universal takes up 3 by 2 by 2. That'll be a good spot for it there. That means that right about here. Oh, look at that. It's all ready already. Yeah, you're the small one. There. There. And you go there. Ooh. Ooh. I was standing a bit too close to the furnace there. I have to remember that. Okay. Yeah, there's our big universal. Put that there, and... you know what? I think that's what I'm gonna do indeed. So these little guys can just sit right up top there. Might just put a bank of 3 across the top there and then throw in another cargo box in behind. Let's see. You. Pop that up there, keep it nice and cozy. It'll still give us lots of room to build our big hover tank. I might want to pop that wall out a little later and make an extra manufacturing section over there and then leave this whole thing for building in. But for right now, we've got just about everything we need in here. Let's once again take a look at... there it is. Okay, so we're going to have to start installing computer cores. And that's going to be another room that we're going to have to build onto this sucker. Now, something I was playing around with the thought of is taking the core and all the computer extensions and building them under the base. Well, I wonder if that would be a smart idea for this particular episode. Let's see. Base bits. Get 1, and that's going to pop us up 30,000 CPU. We're not going to need a whole lot more. Alright. And again, name of the game right now is getting something up and running that we can use immediately. So we're not going for pretty, we're going for done now. So for right now, I'm going to take that CPU extender and I'm going to pop it up here. And if we look, 91 out of 110. Perfect. know what? We're probably going to need a bit of a better generator to run that big sucker, so we are going to create a medium generator, not the advanced one. Stick that over there, and then we can clear the little generator out from its spot in the front room there. While we're here, let's take a look and see what else we've got. There's, let's make an armor locker. And, alright, there is the improved generator. Can make one of those. And while that's cooking, let's, increase our fuel capacity as well, just to be safe. Alright. Oh, yeah, got a new engineer. I found her when I was raiding one of the abandoned POIs in order to grab all the bits and chunks that I needed for this base. Adding crew like that to your ship actually drags the CPU cost down a little bit, so if you've got the space, put them to work. Alright, let's see here. I think instead of a cargo box, we're going to take this bad boy. Yep. And pop it up there. Very nice, very nice. And let's see. Ain't a whole lot of room left in here, is there? Yeah, let's take you. We'll put you in a different spot. We're gonna grab you too, and you as well. Alright. So, we're gonna go CPU. Yeah, right up there. That'll work for the time being. Big fuel tank. Flip you on your side, and you should... Perfect. Giant fuel tank right next to the big furnace. Because that just makes sense. I'm rolling with it. And there we go. Pretty decent little production space we've got going here that should allow us to start creating all the bits and pieces for our hover tank. Now, I want to see, let's go over here, we'll take the other fuel tank and generator out. So that way there's no more radiation here. Take the matter transceiver as well, and we can pop that into, let's see, yeah. Take that out to the garage, but for now, I want to do the armor locker somewhere appropriate. That looks good. Got a nice little spot when we come in still. Alright. Core we'll keep in here for now. It's nicely shielded. O2 can stay here for now as well. That little Wi-Fi block, where are we going to put you? I think right up here in the corner. It's out of the way. Sneak underneath it with anything we're driving, that'll work. Alright. Not doing too bad. We got one last thing to strap on here. Let's see if I can just make it up top. Okay. And our big old light gat. I'm going to stick on this corner over here. And I think we might take one of these guys, you. at the front corner here. Like that. Alright, and we are pretty well covered. So, next bits. I think I've got enough time to see if I can drill a little hole in the ground here. And that will set us up for... Here, let's start right there. That should be just enough to get us down there. We can build a core room underneath there, and that's where we'll put all the computer gubbins and whatnot. Okay, back to the drill. Now, these concrete blocks, we'll pop you here, and we're going to go to... where were you? That one. That one. Go with some regular concrete down here. Oh, one there, one there. Perfecto. More drilling. Alright. So, we're going to need space to actually walk around and then a floor underneath us. So we'll start back here. And we will go with... Alright, and yeah, it's still connected to base, so we got to dig that out a little bit more. Nope. There we go. Okay, page down. That's where the floor starts. And this way is where the room is going to be. Sure we're pointing in the right direction. Yep, sure are. See how many of these we can lay in here. There we go. We have a floor. Still going to take a bit more time to work this out. Let's pop one of those in there. And start working on some semblance of a room here. Yeah, see, it's already gone through to the containers in the next building there, so... There. There, that'll be good enough for right now. So that's our back. Oh. The heat wave is back, folks. Right at sunrise, too. What a pain in the ass. Nice little cooling shower. Alright. Now, when you are building a CPU room, you want to make sure that you have enough room for all the possible CPU components. The biggest ones are 2x2x1, and you can fit 2 of those, and then 2 3x1s, 2 2x1s, and 2 1x1s. So by the time we're done here, we will have marked out on the floor where all of those things go. Let's see. Okay. Far so good. Okay, back to the concrete. Hey, how's that gonna work? I'm probably gonna have to build out that wall along the bottom edge here. We're getting close. Now, something else that you can do. You could just build it right on top of the hollowed out ground that you've made here. That would be perfectly fine. Perfectly acceptable. Computers would work. Everything would be nice. I want to try and make it at least a little bit pretty. So I'm putting a floor in. And probably, yeah, I'll keep building out that wall. I might leave the rest of this relatively untouched. Now, the problem that I've got, I wonder if I could stick another core in here without taking that other one out. If I pull the core, the plants in here might die right away. And I only just planted them. I would like them to grow up to be big and strong, lovely plants. I'm going to try it anyway, because I do want to move that crap downstairs here. So, what are we going to need? We're going to need a staircase, so I'm going to craft one of those. And then we're going to go get the CPU and the core. Alright, you. Steel stair, please. And oh, I forgot to make the new core. Those cores don't come back in one piece, they come back in components, so always make sure you're prepared with a spare. Let's go base bits, one core. There we go. Now, just make sure I'm ready to go without any interruption here. Pop you down here. And you guys as well. Alright. And stick it back in the corner. We can build around it. And our stairs, let's go for freestanding. Might have to open up this hole a little bit more. Didn't plan that very well, did I? Alright. Get you. Thank you very much. And... there we go. Nice and protected. Nobody can shoot it. Let's go finish off that staircase. I don't like the way that turned out. So the idea for this episode is to get this entire base up to a point where it can start producing big, bad, nasty stuff that we can go take the Xerax on with, and it is just about there. So, we're going with blocks. We're going to get another set of steel stairs. Thank you very much. So yeah, once I'm finished with that, I'll be free to go on with cosmetic stuff in the next update. So I'm probably going to move these boxes here inside. Might build the storage area out towards the back. All kinds of stuff. We'll take a look and see what we can do. But yeah, I think we're just about done with making it functional. And that's good. That's always good. I like functional. Functional is a rad way to be. Okay, we can go up, we can go down. Perfecto. There's our core room. And you know what? Since I've still got a little bit of time here, build in the back wall. And that should... let's see here. Not quite yet. It should give us enough space to put in all the extra CPU components that we need to. There we go. That's a back wall. That's a bit of floor. And we know where it needs to be. We can just carve this out. That depth. One there. That's just about got it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Might want to make that a little bit further out that way. But for now, we've got a functional room, folks. So that ought to just about do it for the purely functional, I need to be able to play the game, starter base. All the way up to Universal Constructor with the furnace. This stuff's available at level 25. Lots of storage for fuel. Lots of underground storage that can't get hit by anybody for all your wares. And in the next episode, we'll take care of a few of those extra little bits and pieces that make it a nicer place to live. We'll throw some windows on, maybe some living quarters. We'll throw a few pieces of medical into the front here. Get this all set up the way that it's meant to be. And start using it as we build our hover tank. Anyway, that's it for me. My name is Grim, and it's time for me to sign off.